Okay, oh my god. I'm gonna head out to take a bus right now to go to Century City to watch No Other Choice. And just a quick history, I missed my opportunity to see this film like three times already. About a month ago, it premiered in LA at the Beyond Fest at the Aero Theater, and I wasn't fast enough to buy the ticket. The tickets were sold out within seconds. And then my friend went to Newport Film Festival to watch it with Park Chan-Wook Q&A, which is crazy, but there's no way I would be there because it's like super far away. I don't have a car and I had a class. And then, suddenly, out of nowhere, No Other Choice decided to premiere at the Academy Museum 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Or no, 2 days ago. And tons of people I know went there, but at the time I didn't go because I thought I already had a ticket for Sunday, which is yesterday. But turns out my friend's friend didn't buy me that ticket. I was tricked. But fortunately, my other friend had an extra ticket to see it at Century City today with Park Chan-Wook and Byung-Hun Q&A. So I'm super excited. So let's go. Holy fuck. I just missed the bus. I'm going to a different bus now. Fuck me. Ugh. Shit. Alright, we're here. Not late at all. It's 7:55 p.m. We're at Century City. I haven't been here in months.
Please join me in welcoming co-writer director Park Chan-Wook and actor Byung-Hun. Congratulations on a very tragic but very, very funny movie.
이 소설이 제가 정말 제일 좋아하는 영화 중에 하나인 포인트 블랭크를 쓴 그 원작자의 또 다른 작품이다라는 이유만으로 골라서 읽기 시작한 책이었습니다.
And the reason why I initially decided to read this novel is because the writer of the novel was also a writer for the writer for the novel that one of my favorite movies of all time was based on, which is Point Blank.
예, 안 보신 분 있으면 꼭 보세요. 그 리 마빈 나오는 포인트 블랭크 정말 좋은 영화입니다.
If there's anyone here who hasn't watched the movie, I hope you get to watch it. It has Lee Marvin in it, and it's a really, really, really good movie.
그런데 이제 제가 소설을 각색을 하는 데 있어서 제일 근본적인 변화를 주었던 것은 물론 뭐 이 디테일을 보면 정말 거의 하나도 남은 건 없이 다 쓰다시피 했지만 근본적인 변화는 아마도 만수의 가족이 만수가 어떤 행동을 했는지 눈치채 버린다라는 것이었습니다.
And in the process of adapting from the novel, I think the most fundamental change that I made, of course, when you look at the detailed changes, the little smaller changes, everything has really changed from the original novel. But if we consider the most fundamental change from the novel is the fact that the family begins to notice what this main character has been up to.
그렇게 됨으로써
모든 스태프들과 배우들은 해야 되는구나 하고서 이제 하는데 저만 해도 사실 감독님과 너무 평소에도 이제 작품은 그 사이에 못했지만 친하게 지냈기 때문에 괜찮았는데 나머지 배우들은 정말 저한테 얘기하기를 전날부터 잠이 안 온다고 촬영 있는 날 그만큼 굉장히 정신적으로 힘들었고 그리고 또 박 감독님이라는 거장과 함께 처음으로 일을 했기 때문에 굉장히 늘 긴장하면서 간다 이런 얘기들을 함께한 동료들은 얘기를 했었어요.
I think since 25 years ago, Director Park really hasn't changed. He's always been so gentle and has a really warm demeanor. But as an actor, and even as a head of department or crew member on one of his films, you want to ask, how can he ask a person of such things? He is really asking something very demanding of us, And it's said in such a gentle way that you think, okay, I guess I have to do it now. And of course, I'm very close to director Park, but for the other actors who hadn't worked with him before, it was to the extent that they would tell me, oh, I really can't sleep the night before because they're so nervous. And it would really be mentally taxing for them. And also with the pressure of working with such a master of his craft. And you could really feel that tension from them.
Hey, I'm getting sick. What's up, is a culture detective here investigating your favorite movies, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review on a film that I watched yesterday, and that is No Other Choice, or in Korean, 어쩔수가없다 by Chan-Wook. So, holy shit, this is my most anticipated film of the year. I have been dying to see this film for a long time already, ever since they announced this movie like last year or 2 years ago. Before this movie even had a poster on Letterboxd, I was already putting it on my watch list. I was that freaking excited for a new Park Chan-wook film. If you don't know this, Park Chan-wook is one of the most important filmmakers for me, because his work has inspired me for a very long time already. Films like Old Boy, The Handmaiden, Lady Vengeance, Thirst, Stoker, they're all absolutely fantastic. And if you've seen any of my short films, especially my recent ones, you would be able to tell that I copy a lot from this guy. So it means a lot to me to see the new Park Chan-wook film as early as possible, but also see the man himself. And so I was able to see him, and I was one person away from him at one point yesterday, and I was really just fangirling in the inside, because he's just such a huge inspiration for me. But anyways, this new Park Chan-wook film, 어쩔수가없다, or No Other Choice, is actually based off of a novel written in the 90s by Donald E. Westlake. The name of the novel is called The Axe. Later in the year 2005, The Axe is adapted into a French film of the same name by Costa Gavras, who is one of the most, if not the most well-known director in the political thriller field. So I watched The Axe a couple months ago as homework before I watched No Other Choice, and I thought it was a very interesting film, because The Axe is way funnier and way more whimsical than I thought it would be, even though Costa Gavras' work had never been that funny in my opinion. But it is so interesting to see Costa Gavras being so lighthearted and being so quick and snappy. But anyways, comparing The Axe with No Other Choice, I do think that in The Axe, the main character is basically an asshole. He's a huge douchebag, and you do not root for him at all since the beginning. In No Other Choice, you do root for him. He's a very likable character, and maybe at some point halfway through the film, you'll start to realize that maybe murder is not good, but it still starts off on a very sympathetic note. Now, another thing that made me really interested in seeing No Other Choice is that earlier this semester, I lost my job. For years, and I'm not fucking exaggerating, for years I've been trying really hard to find a job in the US. And I've tried again and again, I've applied many times, and finally last year September, I got a job on campus, and even though it wasn't that well paid, I was still happy about it. I'm earning money, I'm doing things, I'm an adult. I feel good, I feel secure, slightly more secure, I guess, I don't fucking know. And then earlier this semester, I lost my job. I got fired, not because I was bad, but because of budget cuts, because the government is funding less money to schools, and so the department sent me an email saying that because of budget cuts, they cannot hire international students anymore. And so I just lost my job, and I've been quite sad and strucken by it for quite some time. So for No Other Choice, a movie about a guy murdering his competition in order to get a job, to come out, it is extremely topical and timely for me, especially in this ultra-capitalist hellhole that we are living in right now. What surprised me when I watched this film is that it is more of a family drama than an action thriller. I swear to God, when I saw the trailer, before they even released the English trailer, when CJ Entertainment YouTube channel released the trailer to No Other Choice, I've probably watched it 30 times already. This is one of the most well-cut, most exciting, most just mind-stimulating trailer of all year. I was so excited, and the trailer made this film feel like just a full-blown action thriller. It's not. It's actually more of a family drama than an action thriller. There are a lot of scenes in this film that were not adapted from the novel and wasn't in the original French film, but these scenes are essentially family drama scenes where we see Lee Byung-Hun's character interacting with Son Ye-jin, the main character Mansu, and his wife and his children, and also just him and his daily life, him driving around. And I find this really interesting because after Decision to Leave did not get any Oscars, after Decision to Leave came out and it didn't get any Oscar nominations, Park Chan-Wook was quite disappointed. And in an interview, Park Chan-Wook said that he might go back to his usual super fast-paced, violent action thriller mode because it sells better and because people will like it more. And so I was expecting a huge change, but both surprisingly and unsurprisingly, this is just as elegant and nuanced as Decision to Leave. Sure, Decision to Leave is not that violent. I mean, it's got death scenes, there are murders in Decision to Leave, but it's all done so in a very restrained way, so that most of the film is just talking and artsy imagery. And No Other Choice, surprisingly, is also like that. Sure, there are pretty violent and graphic moments, but a lot of this film is actually just a family drama. A lot of this film is almost a little slice of life at times. It's very restrained, and whenever there's violence, it's very elegant. It's very careful. And I find this really interesting, and it adds so much flavor to the film as opposed to just a straightforward action thriller banger thrown at your face. Now let's talk about the technical qualities of the film. I mean, come on, it's Park Chan-wook. As expected, it's fucking amazing. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful on all fronts. The cinematography is some of the best I've seen all year, and it's so refreshing. I've seen so many films this year, especially American films, that just have the same look, that just have the same color palette, or they're trying to achieve this filmic look. And then I watch Park Chan-wook, and it's this almost hyper-realist digital look that's so clean, it's almost picturesque. It's almost like we're living in a postcard world or something, especially in the first scene, especially the scene where it's sunrise or sunset. It's so gorgeous. And the production design, as someone who works a lot in the art department, I can't help but be wowed by the production design in literally every single shot. I also really love how Park Chan-wook loves nature, like mountains, trees, water. Whatever was in Decision to Leave continues in No Other Choice. The attention to nature, the natural world, is so present in this film. You can see it in every single shot. The scene transitions, I mean, of course, okay, Decision to Leave has way crazier scene transitions, that's true, but the scene transitions in this film are also really symbolic. I love the house superimposed with the bonfire because the house is on fire, the family's in trouble. My favorite, and that has got to be top 10 scene transitions in Park Chan-wook's career, is Yeom Hye-ran snapping her finger and it becomes a lighter, just so fucking insane, so electric, and every single sequence is cut and shot in the tightest, most carefully crafted way possible. And then the performances are fantastic. Byung-Hun, I've never seen him do anything comedic. I mean, of course, he's frontman in Squid Game, but he's so funny in this movie. He's so humanizing, he's so empathetic. There are so many moments in this film that just borders on slapstick comedy, and Lee Byung-hun pulls it off easy peasy. Son Ye-jin is great. Lee Sung-min, when I saw that he's going to be in this film, I was so excited because he is funny in everything he's in. There's this Korean drama called Mi-sang where he plays the boss of Im Si-won, and Lee Sung-min is hilarious, and as expected, he's great here. But the real highlight for me is actually Yeom Hye-ran, who plays this crazy woman, and that's all you need to know going in. And, you know, I wasn't that impressed after this film, though. Maybe it's because I had really high expectations going in, which is something that you kind of have to avoid before going into any film. But after sleeping on this film, I realize how sad this film is, how bleak this film is. The more I think about this film, the bleaker it gets. It almost reads like a Greek tragedy. The man loses his job and he has to defeat 3 versions of himself in order to regain his job. But at what cost? At the end, he's just an empty shell in the capitalist world. Very much reminds me of Parasite. I do think Parasite is better in terms of pacing, sequencing, and how everything kind of comes together. It's really difficult to beat Parasite, but I just admire filmmakers, you know, Bong Joon-ho, Park Chan-Wook, and even Kurosawa Kiyoshi, who recently did Cloud, really critique capitalism through pure fucking violence and brain rot. Just mental corruption. And speaking of Cloud, I guess I have to mention Tokyo Sonata as well, which unfortunately I haven't seen, but it's also about how capitalist society corrodes the family unit, which is what makes this film mostly anyways. But also it's about male loneliness. There are so many scenes where Mansu, the main character, is jealous of the guy that his wife is working with, which, yeah, it doesn't seem to connect with the overall story, but it has more of a symbolic meaning because Mansu equates him losing his job to losing his wife. He equates his wife's fidelity to his job security, and it all adds into this fucking bloodbath whirlpool soup of job, wife, children, success, nice house, 2 dogs, kind of this idea of what success is and what security is and what masculinity is. The toothache doesn't really have anything to do with the jobs, but it's there. And the moment he loses his teeth at the end, the hurting teeth, it finally clicks for him that he's secure. Or the cello, the daughter playing the cello, I thought something really fucked up is gonna happen to the cello, like the piano in Stoker. That didn't happen. The cello was more of a symbolic item than it is a weapon to smash someone's head in or something. I guess my biggest qualm would be that the last act of the film was a little tame and just not as intense as the middle part of the film, and also this film is not as emotionally complex as I would have liked it to be, but I just really like films that are made for the here and the now. More and more filmmakers are doing it, and I love to see it. I just love to see it. So, yeah, great film, good film. Please check it out. Did not completely blow my mind, but for Park Chan-wook, that is a very high bar. For now, this is my favorite of the year, tied with one battle after another. I'm giving 어쩔수가없다 a decent 9 out of 10. So, have you watched this film? Comments below, let me know, subscribe if you want more. Thanks for watching.